They have a problem in life, a situation in life, and they have a decision to make, and they lean upon their own understanding, lean upon their own wisdom they get from life. And sometimes that helps, and sometimes it brings failure. Why should we not lean upon our own understanding? I'm glad you asked. Hold your finger right here. Go with me now to Isaiah 55, please. Here's the reason why we should not trust or rely upon our own reasoning, our own way of thinking. Isaiah 55, page 1049 in your Bibles. Page 1049 in a church Bible. I had a person on the day, they said, Pastor, I have my own Bible, and I've turned to those pages you give me, and it's never the right verse. I said, well, I appreciate you listening, but it's the verse of those using a church Bible. I mean, the page of that. So, but anyway, Isaiah. Look what it says about God. We need to remember this when we have a decision to make or a place to go. It says here in Isaiah 55, verse 8, please. God says, for my what? Thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. My friend, God doesn't think the way you think. And when you make a decision based upon your own human reason and thinking, chances are it's contrary to God's. He says, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thoughts. We have a God that's omniscient. It means all-knowing. He knows everything. And why would we rely upon our own understanding when we have His to rely upon? And so God says in a negative man, do not rely upon your own human reasoning. Someone said this, you ought to write this down. Self-confidence in the Christian life is a road to destruction. Self-confidence in the Christian life is a road to destruction. We should be God-confident, not self-confident. That is so popular among the unsaved. But self-confidence in the Christian life is a road to destruction. The next negative command. The first one, do not rely upon your own human reasoning. Number two, avoid human wisdom. Goes right along with that one. Avoid human wisdom. It says there in verse 7 of Proverbs chapter 3. It says, be not wise in thine own what? Eyes. In other words, Proverbs 28:26 says this. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. Wow. But whoso walketh wisely shall be delivered. Again, if I live my life based upon my own wisdom and make a decision in my own eyes, what's right and wrong, and also my own understanding, God says, God calls me a fool. Because there is somebody that knows so much more than we know, that has so much greater understanding, that we can go to and find how to live, how to make decisions based upon His Word. What he's saying here is take notice of God and humbly recognize Him as the one who can best control the affairs of our life. Number three, the third negative command. Number one is do not rely upon human wisdom. Do not rely upon human reasoning. Avoid human wisdom. And number three, put away what is displeasing to God. Put away what is displeasing to God. Verse 7, the latter part of it, it says, depart from evil. Depart from wickedness, evil ways. So anything that's displeasing to God, God said we ought to put that away. Do not partake in that. The word depart means to turn or put aside, to put away, dispose, reject. And there's so much wickedness in our world today that as God's people, we ought to reject that way and put that out of our lives. Proverbs 28:13 says this, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way. So if I fear God, I will hate evil. Not only put it away, but hate it. Proverbs 16, verse 6. By the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. And so that's the third negative command. Now, let's talk about a wonderful outcome. So if I obey God's positive commands, trust the Lord, acknowledge Him, and fear Him, And next, if I do the negative commands, do not rely upon human reasoning, avoid human wisdom, and depart from that which pleases God. Here's a wonderful outcome. And you ought to highlight this in your Bible. Verse 6 of Proverbs 3. First of all, the first outcome, God's direction for our lives. He says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall what? Direct your path. How many need good direction in life? We have so many decisions in life that affect us, even our family. I don't know about you, I need God's direction. And interesting, that word there, direction here. The word direction has twofold meaning, but don't miss this. It basically means guidance, direction, but also, listen please, it means to make level, to make smooth, and make straight. In other words, this is more than just guidance. It means God removes the obstacles, making a smooth path a way of life. Wow. Anything that can cause hurt and problem in my life, God removes them. And he gives me direction. He removes obstacles and makes a smooth path a way of life. Proverbs teaches that those who trust and acknowledge the Lord will have an easier and less problems than